You like anime? Due to YouTube circumstances, all our anime reactions are over at the Goosh, which is our Patreon. Over 3,000 of them. Link is in the description. A partial list is in the comment section. Bring your balls. Okay, guys, I wanted to share something that I think will be really fun with you guys today. There's a subreddit called r/RareInsults. I don't know if you guys have ever perused that particular one or not, but it's worth your time. There is some great stuff in there. And I was actually I had a video rendering this morning, and I haven't been into that subreddit in quite some time. And I was checking it out today and laughing my ass off. And I got thinking maybe it'd make for a fun video to just share like my top 5 rare insults for the day, the ones that I looked through today. So thinking that it's just what a brilliant idea. That's what we're going to do. I've picked 5 of them that I thought were particularly hilarious, and I'll share them with you guys right here. Once again, take some time to go check it out yourself. It's pretty good stuff. Here's my top 5 for today. Okay, here's number 1. This first of all, woman claims she was virtually groped in Meta VR platform. How exactly does that work, and how do you file that police report? It's kind of like I don't know who are you going to call, Ghostbusters. Anyway, that's not the main focal point of this one. Check this story out. I was once told after going 2-17 on a Black Ops 2 deathmatch, I can totally relate, that the child slave worker who made my Xbox 360 controller would have thrown himself out the window if he knew just how badly I was using it. That was 6 years ago, and I still can't forget that. That is, as somebody who's enjoyed Call of Duty, specifically trolling from way back at the beginnings of the channel, that's a quality line. When you're so bad that nothing else matters to the slave labor kid, he's just like, fuck it, if you're just going to use it like this, I have no reason to go on. The fact that I'm starving and my parents are being held in a camp of some sort, nothing compared to what you just did with my Xbox controller. Okay, this is number 2. And now, like I said, I was just collecting these as I went, so I don't even know which ones are coming up here because I forgot. Aerial view of over 400,000 people at Woodstock, 1969. I've seen pictures like that before. Very cool. Somewhere in this crowd, I was being conceived. Cool, like memories. Then the response is, many still believe the event was worth it in spite of that. Gosh, it's funny. It's a picture of when you were conceived, and now we just witnessed your death. So we've taken your whole life story with you, along with you. And this is number 3. This just drew a mental picture for me that I'm having trouble shaking. Those tits are saggy as fuck. If she was lactating, she could throw them over her shoulders and use the milk squirts like a jetpack. I want you guys to just take a moment and picture that. I am both terrified and amazed and delighted that there are people out there whose minds work like this. And number 4, this lady says, I don't like the color of his skin. I don't care how rich he is, not my type. The response was, shit, you probably no one's type. Out here looking like a terrible Wi-Fi connection. Out here looking like a terrible Wi-Fi connection is one of the... it wouldn't even... How did he come up with it? Look at, here she is. Caramel. It's so, her hair looks like that sound that a fax machine makes. Bong, bong, bong. That whole thing, doesn't it? Am I wrong? but look, comparing someone's look to a terrible Wi-Fi connection and having it be accurate is one of the great moves of the history of put downs. And here's the last one for today. I love this one. Well, you guys know my sense of humor. Shit like this is always going to get me. One time I went to the store and some snot-nosed little kid kept screaming because his mom wouldn't buy him any candy. So I grabbed that little shit by the legs and spun him around like an Olympic hammer. Tossed and yeeted him into the lobster tank. Then his dipshit mom had the nerve to get mad at me for disciplining her child. People these days. Agreed. You are totally in the right. She's a bitch. Now, somebody responded with, I don't know what the topic of conversation here was prior, but, and you expect me to believe that child was Donald Trump? Get real. The response to that, you talk a lot of shit for someone in lobster tank range. And it's so wrong that the visualization of swinging a kid like a hammer and yeeting him into a lobster tank makes me laugh as hard as it does, but it really, really does. See, I guess what this comes down to is I am well aware of the fact that there's a lot of shit wrong with me, but it's comforting to know that this same shit is wrong with a lot of other people as well. I think a lot of us here. So we might be misfits, but we are misfits together. And somehow there's a lot of camaraderie, comfort, and fun in that. But yeah, check out this rRareInsults. There's a lot of good shit there.